of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Roll call.
Councilor Crum. Present. Councilor Matthews.
Present.
Councilor Coast. Here. Councilor Chamberlain.
Here.
Councilor Allen.
Here.
Councilor Sturts.
Here.
All members are present. We have a quorum.
Motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes. So moved. That was correct.
Thanks.
We're here to help you, Maggie.
Yeah, thank you. Moved by Councilor Allen and second by Councilor Matthews. Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Crum?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Individuals wishing to address council. Mike, any words of wisdom?
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to committee reports. Park Board.
Park Board. Let me find the multi-page report here that I have. We'll try to keep this short since we know we have 2 tree commission reports tonight, so we'll try to keep this short. Park Board met on August 13, and we talked about park rules. The Chief Torba brought to the Park Board's attention that there's certain rules that are sort of known about within the parks, but they're not enforceable because they're not codified. So the Park Board had discussion about certain rules and came up with a recommendation entertaining tonight. No overnight parking, no overnight camping, no alcoholic beverages, no animals, no motorized vehicles, no campfires, and no parking on the grass. So presumably after the legislation goes forward, Chief, then they would be enforceable. Is that the idea?
Right.
Okay. Let's see. We also talked about maybe amending the no animals, but the Park Board members weren't inclined to change from the no animal policy, so that still is in place. And so that would be the recommendation tonight. We also talked about the park hours. As the legislation or the rules stand right now, Biddle Park is not mentioned in our hours of operation, so we're adding or recommending that we add to the ordinance Biddle Park closing at midnight along with Rear Park, and South Park would stay at 10 p.m. Dave Murray spoke to Park Board about possibly pouring 2 concrete pads down at the tennis courts with the idea in mind to have some bleachers permanently affixed there. Right now, I guess they move in bleachers whenever there's a need, but it'd be better off that they'd be there all the time. Park Board members thought that was a great idea. And also, Dave Murray just wanted to mention that he carefully reads tree commission reports, and would just like to remind the tree commission to, before they plant any trees in the parks, to run those ideas by the Park Board. So that is the extent of the Park Board meeting.
Motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Is this a motion to accept both recommendations then? I guess we're just taking both at the same time? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Motion moved by Councilor Allen and second by Councilor Coast. Is there any discussion? Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Crum?
Yes.
Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Utility Committee.
The Utility Committee has been busy the last 2-3 weeks. Several things we've talked about. The bid opening down in Paulding County did happen on schedule, and we are the apparent high bidder on the piece of equipment that we sent the bid on. As of last week, we had not been officially notified yet, but expect that to be forthcoming. Regarding the county water main extension out on County Road J over to 16, we need a recommendation to approve that extension, and also then we talked about having a stipulation that the county would put in controls for THMs in the tank at the fairgrounds. That won't be necessary. Ziad has given to Dennis a plan to take care of that in writing. He wants to put it in next year's budget. So Dennis would like us to remove that stipulation that we had talked about. The insulated storage tank for liquid carbon dioxide was supposed to be reviewed by the people who make them on Friday. I don't know what the outcome of that meeting was. I do know that if we need to buy a new one, it will cost $114,000 to build it. There is one in stock that has carbon steel piping rather than stainless steel piping. We would rather have stainless steel piping, so there is a price difference. That will have to be looked at after we get the report from the people who looked at it on Friday. As far as the county water plan that Dennis has been working on, that would involve the county buying water from Archbold and Wauseon. He has put together a rate structure that is similar to, actually it's the same as what we charge to Lyons and to, I believe the Fulton County Health Center is the other large user in the city. The rate for 2014 that we're proposing would be $2.46 per unit. And that would support the need for more staff, more equipment, more chemicals, more everything that we would have to do to make that water for the county. So we will need a recommendation to approve the main loop extension north of Fairgrounds and also to sell the water at the proposed rate of $2.46 per unit. That's it.
Motion. I'd make a motion to accept both recommendations submitted by the utility committee.
I'll second that.
Motion moved by Councilor Chamberlain and second by Councilor Sturts. Is there any discussion? Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Crum? Yes. 6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Safety and code.
Okay, safety and code met the other morning. Chief Torber had a rough draft of legislation for internet cafes, and they'd be required to have a $5,000 license per year plus pay $30 a month per device. Then any new ones would not be allowed to be within 1,000 feet of any school or 500 feet of any church. This wouldn't affect the ones that are there, just any new ones. So I think, I got my glasses with me today, but so that's what we're recommending, just going with that new legislation on that. And then we discussed the right-hand side on going east on Linfoot Street onto Shoup. There's been a few complaints because of the tires on the corner, and there isn't any real laws about them. They're actually illegal there, and I think Don was going to go down and talk to the owner of the building and see if he could get him to move them back a little bit or something. I don't know if he did that yet or not.
I have tried to be in contact with him, and I have not succeeded so far.
Okay.
I tried all weekend. Sorry, I might be out of town.
Okay, and then the third thing we discussed was some animals in town. Somebody's got some FFA project, a couple of pigs over on Leggett Street. And one or two of the neighbors have had a couple complaints about it, but there isn't any really rules about having livestock or 4-H projects or FFA projects in town other than the smell or the noise. So nothing really much further there since they're FFA projects. They'll be gone in a week or two. So the only thing we need is probably a recommendation, or for the recommendation on internet cafes.
I'll make a motion to accept the safety and code recommendation on the internet cafes.
Motion moved by Councilor Coast and second by Councilor Crum. Is there any discussion?
Chief, I
Oh,
got one
sorry.
question. Is there just one in town then?
There are two.
There are two?
That's what I was told.
That we're made aware of at this point in time, there are two machines.
Okay. I didn't realize there was another one. Okay.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Tree Commission.
Well, the tree commission's met a couple times since the last time we met, but basically, most of our conversation was all general and not a lot of anything new that we haven't discussed before, so if you don't mind, I might not just go over that again, unless you want me to. You know, I can go back to the minutes.
You did fine.
Okay, Brian. Pete Carr is looking into some grants for this, replacing some orders for trees for this fall. It's something rather new for us. And the other, what we spent a lot of time on is that we do have a couple tree issues in town with some residents that are serious problems. We have sent a letter to the one resident, and they should have received it, and we'll know in 30 days whether they're going to try to fix that problem or not. And the other tree issue that we have in town, we've discussed many times, and that is also sort of in the makings right now to see what can be done to fix that problem. So other than that, in reference to the park board minutes, with Dave Murray, what I said about that is, in our meeting, is that what I'd like to see, if we could, because I noticed there was, I noticed this in another town, when they replanted their trees along their boulevards, they put in some large trees. They had to pay for them. They were expensive, but they put in these large trees, and they were just beautiful. And I thought, well, you know, if we could check in to see what the prices would be for bigger diameter trees for Biddle, instead of the little ones we're putting out there, that's going to take 20 years to get up and not benefit anybody in this room, basically. If we could maybe fit something in our budget, starting next year, every year, and put a few of them in out there that are 20, 25 foot tall, then that might be a big plus for us. And that's what I meant from those. You know, we would never go ahead and buy them and plant them without park board's permission either. So, and we work well with park board. So
That's a good relationship.
yeah. So anyway,
Does the city have their own tree spade?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we could do it. So that's that's the end of that.
Okay. Moving on. Department head, David.
Just a couple things that was brought to my attention before the meeting that as it pertains to the downtown revitalization grant that I announced we didn't get the award for last meeting. Some of the downtown stakeholders might not be aware of that decision. What I will do is I will probably compose a short letter, maybe send those out to the stakeholders, get with Glenn Grisdale, with Reveille, see if he's done any outreach to those folks. Also, just I'll coordinate with him to make sure that everybody gets contacted, so that's taken care of. At our staff meeting on Wednesday, Jan Ston had mentioned the land transfer parcel combination issue that affects property owners in Fulton County. Our office has been corresponding with the auditor's office about a policy that the auditor's office practices with lot property combinations. As we move through that process, probably have some more news to share on that. But there's a property issue when it comes to combining properties, where sometimes the properties aren't combined, which causes a land use issue. So we're trying to work through those communication issues, and we'll move forward through that. So there's a lot there.
Okay. Thank you. Chief Schluter.
Nothing to really report as far as fire department operations, other than the search for my replacement bell is going well, and I should be on board here September 1st, full time.
Did we get all the cows back in the barn?
Out south, yeah, I see the ODOT sign's still up. I just come through there a little bit ago, but I don't know.
Chief Torber.
A couple of things to report. As you can see through the signage that we have up here, the orange sign over here, we've actually had 2 of those donated to us by the Department of Public Safety. They're quick setup signs that we can put out for different events. We have one for the lookout for motorcycles, one for seatbelt enforcement zones. Just to let you know, Safe and Sober starts this week and runs through September 2nd. There will be increased patrols throughout the county for that. Also, school starts this Thursday, so we're asking people to be aware of the little ones out and about. We will have additional officers out for the first week for enforcement of school zones. And our Citizens of Police Academy starts September 9th. We already have 7 applications out. 3 of them have already been returned. And we have a cutoff of 15 people. So anybody that's interested, please get in touch with us as soon as we can so we can get a spot reserved. That's all I got.
Thank you. Tom.
Last week I met with a representative from the Attorney General's office pertaining to the wrap-up review of our Moving Ohio Forward. He was very pleased. He, couldn't understand how, we went through the money so fast for him. Like, as an example, he was up here to look at Wood County. They've done 2 demos so far with the money. And, and they got a couple million, but he was happy with it. And he also said that there has been money returned, and he is trying to work out a deal that the counties that did use the money properly and get through it could get a second round. So, but it's being an election year, he looks for there being probably a 6-month extension to the counties that haven't used their money yet. So it might be actually next year before we hear, but it sounds like a good chance we can get some more so we can get rid of some more of the blighted properties. And we've also, Tom had forwarded over a request for some hazardous information on the property in town for a potential business to locate at. We forwarded that to the proper authorities, so we did our part on that. So we may have another, more or less a relocation of a current business, but to a new site on Shoot. So we've been a little busy.
Good. All right. Jamie?
I received the draft audit report from the state auditors since our last meeting, and they had said they would have the final ready last Friday, and I have not seen it yet. So I expect to get an email with the final version, hopefully this week. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Notification.
It was good. Glad to be back, of course, from Wauseon, Ohio. Not too much going on, continuing to work on a number of projects for the various departments, trying to button up this transfer of the bike trail to Wauseon with the folks in the Toledo area. Continuing to work on a few final things on the easement. We're still missing one easement out there on Airport Highway, so working with Dennis on that. And I've got, as I say, some other projects brewing for actually most of the departments, things I need to be working on. And I just want to say thank you to the police department and the fire department for their effort with the Tomahawk Trot last week ago. Last Friday? Once again, it was I don't think anybody was injured. Police did a great job directing traffic. I think the SAG wagon was ready to pick up anybody that didn't make it. And having run the race for the first time this year with my 8-year-old, not having been able to do that before since I was helping direct the thing, I was able to experience firsthand the flow of the traffic and what a great job the officers did. So I want to thank them and thank Fred for his assistance in that endeavor. Another good event for the city of Wauseon.
What place did you come in?
My son came in about 76, and I was right behind him.
You were 77?
Well, I wasn't an official one. I was the pace setter for him. But I didn't walk.
Good deal.
Also, I should say thank you to the citizens out there in Arrowhead and various places that were out with the, it was a hot evening, and there were some sprinklers out. That was really appreciated. Appreciate the camaraderie involved, yeah.
Great deal. Okay, moving on, there is no first or second reading legislation. On to the third. Ordinance 2013-3, amending section 301 of the codified ordinances of the city of Wauseon, definition of a compact vehicle.
Third reading.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Crum. Is there any discussion? Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2013-3 passes on third reading and will be in effect in 30 days.
Ordinance 2013-4, amending section 1303 of the codified ordinances of the city of Wauseon, Pride Wauseon Architectural Standards Code.
Third reading.
Motion made by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Crum. Is there any discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2013-4 passes on third reading and will be in effect in 30 days.
Ordinance 2013-6, granting to Ohio Gas Company, its successors and assigns the right to maintain a gas distribution system and to lay, extend, maintain, operate, repair, and remove mains and pipe in, through or under the streets, alleys, public places of the city of Wauseon, Fulton County, Ohio, for supplying gas to the city and its inhabitants in the transportation thereof in and through the city.
Third reading.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Matthews and second by Counselor Allen. Is there any discussion? Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2013-6 passes on third reading and will be in effect in 30 days.
On the new business, we need a motion to accept the appointment of Mike Murray to the Charter Revision Commission for the term of July 1st, 2013 to June 30th, 2016.
That's a 3-member board, isn't it? Or Mayor, do we know if it's 3 members?
It's 5.
5, okay. I'm sorry.
Is Mike a new member? He'll be a new member?
He's replacing
Or no,
Herman Pilak, yeah.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion made by Counselor Allen and second by Counselor Sturts. Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion to approve the bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Sturts. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Crum?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Allen and second by Counselor Coast. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.